Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Bushar Hali. I'm from Morocco. I'm a computer. I have worked as a computer engineer a while, but now I decided to change my career to do some education psychology. When I received the confirmation that I will respond to the topic creative ijtihad, I told myself a question: how can I deal with it? So I choose to do some research about the two concepts separate: creativity and ijtihad. My research about ijtihad was the book of Professor Tariq Ramadan, Radical Reform. And I will not talk about jihad now because I think everyone have his own conception of the topic. But I will focus on creativity and how can I adapt creativity to ijtihad. According to me, the best approach that I have discovered in about creativity is from a TED Talk of author Rita Seling. She presents six characters of truly creative people, which are imagination, knowledge, attitude, considered as interior character for the human, for who are gonna do creativity, and habitat, resource, and culture as considered as exterior. Let me explain. I will not focus for the six characters, but I will talk of them each, of all of them, but I will focus on one interior and one exterior that according to me, I find it very important to start with it as a step. Imagination for the author. She said that in school they teach us that there is one answer for a question. There is only one right answer for a question, and she just gave an example that 5 + 5, what is it? It's 10. But she asked how can we ask this thing in the other way? We can just say, what is 10? It could be a lot of an infinity of answer. So regarding ijtihad, it's the same thing. We should think about the objective, not about just giving answer to solution to question. So for her, if we want to be creative, we must do three things. First of all, framing and reframing problems. That's what Professor Tariq Ramadan talked about, the context intelligence. I must know understand the text, the science of text, and the science of context, and putting my objective in what I want to do. Connecting and combining idea. The second one. So that's what we say in the process of giving fatwa or giving solution. The jurisprudence now the need of including another profile, including a physician, including another component. So it's very important to come with innovative solution. If we connecting and combining idea, it's better. The third one, it's challenging the assumption. For her, going beyond the first answer, and it's kind of having some projection. The solution that I will propose, it's not just in this time. It could be something in progress in time. It's very good that I think of this. The second character, knowledge. She's considered as a box of tool of box. According to her, the most powerful way to get the knowledge is by paying attention to the word. I agree with her. So plus, according to me, in addition to the revelation as a source of knowledge, I will include the universe, the environment, the culture, the other, knowing the other who are different than me, as a source as other source of knowledge. The third character is what I will describe more. It's attitude. I think it's very important as a person, as mujtahid, that we must be aware about our attitude in the process of ijtihad. I will talk about what she said. First of all, she just talked about the fear of being wrong, because in our society we stigmatize mistake, and it was the same thing that Dr. Ghaly said about jurisprudence. They have fear to be wrong or putting Islam in question, and fear. And also fear of rejection, and. Another that I can respect, it's Abdul Karim Bakkar. He said he talked about the Muslim and Muslim intelligence. He said that it's now frozen because the intellects return to the past every time. They can bring something new, and for them it's very easy to return to the past and resting in being in this step. What is very important, it's also the relation with the authority. As mujtahid, am I free? Am I autonomous? It's what I propose. It's very free from any authority. And there is another point. It's moral and ethic. What we say this morning, I must act in a moral and have some ethic to propose a good thing. Also in attitude, as Professor Ramadan say, it's about. I'm sorry, you didn't hear me before. I'm sorry, because I see that my voice. Okay. The point that it's very important also in attitude, it's attitude of tawheed, that I'm not who give like you say إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. Just for me, it's I need to do effort in with responsibility and dignity and humility, and the result, it's not up to me. It's up to God to guide me to bring the best. So I must act in including Tawheed, and like Dr. Shinqiti say, and finally Allahu A'lam. Having some humility to say Allahu A'lam. Yeah, he wrote it. He wrote it in his. He wrote it in. Yeah, he always says that. I respect that for this for him, and he wrote it in his presentation. So yeah, because it's very important. We act. We don't think. We think that we are humble, but sometimes we act with arrogance. I'm sorry. What else? Yeah. There is another important point in attitude. Am I thinking of everyone? Am I including everyone? Am I accepting everyone? Because, for example, I have some friend who think about building a school that can Islamic school that can give a better methodology, but finally they just added their product. It's just for a limited population who have money. But I understand. We can start from this step. I will start to maybe with a limited population, but I will ask myself at what step I will include the poor, at what step I will include the one who don't have power. I should think about this, because it's who gonna think of these people. That's the point about attitude. I hope that I'm clear about this point. I will talk about the three exterior. Exterior. I have. How? Yeah, I will talk I will just spell it on the habitat, as what my sister asked, if Professor Ramadan can answer the question about the space, the habitat, the space that encourage creativity and can be a good environment to give in this to learn. I will talk the 5.1 is research. I will include just the means and questioning the means in the limit of the transitional limits. Are my mean are correct in the limit and the principle, but I will talk about the more about the last character. It's culture. Culture, as I consider it now, when as a languages. The means we can use to have a consensus, because you can't propose your idea if you don't talk with the languages of people. You will be misunderstood. And thinking about the transitional plane, including history and physics. I think for me, I don't know if it was the same thing for you. The difference between the video for Sheikh Qaradawi before was have a very big impact comparing to the other video. Comparing it to the other video, because if you don't, if you I don't know if you see it, it was a song in parallel with the parallel of Professor Sheikh Qaradawi, and for me it has a very big impact. So I say this just to tell you what was the impact of the culture of the language using art or using some background. It's kind of background who gonna change everything. It's okay. Before I finish, what I presented just my understanding. It's just my understanding until this moment about Ijtihad creativity. And if you see that I misunderstood everything or I present something wrong, feel free to correct me. Thank you very much. Alhamdulillah الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. For those of you who arrived late, you missed the better of the two presentations, but I will do my best anyway. When I arrived here, I soon realized that I was sort of the least qualified person in the room. But that's a wonderful thing, because not only can I learn from our wonderful shayukh up here on the table, but everybody else as well has really taught me a lot through your example and through the discussions we've shared and everything else. So I just wanted to share sort of my interpretation of a couple of things, and I'm really grateful that you ended on culture as talking about one of your aspects of creativity, because for me, I am one of the people that Shinqiti needs to welcome home, but trust me, there's not another group of people in the world that I'm more comfortable saying Beit Beitkum to. So thank you. I feel very at home here, and it's wonderful. Basically, the first thing I wanted to bring up was a somewhat neglected slide that was in the Cannes presentation, at the top of which it said, be the change you want to be in the world, and you want to see in the world. And of course, this is Gandhi, and everybody knows this quote, and it's often sort of glossed over, but I think that really is a good way of summing up our mission, even if it's a little bit simplistic. But I think we really have to focus on that, and that's why I'm gonna go back to Sheikh Hudaybi's quote and say that I really loved the political discourse that we had, and that's my area of limited expertise. So it was really nice to have Islam and politics and political Islam discussed at length as a practical example of Ijtihad, and I think Sister Bushra really demonstrated something for me which has happened over the course of this this discussion this week, because I came to the seminar with really a sense that I would never be qualified to practice Ijtihad because I'm a baby in Islam. I'm very new and I don't speak Arabic very well, and all these things, and you need big qualifications. But it's really, Ijtihad, I know now, is really an important process for everyone, and it's a big part of changing the world, which I think is not too ambitious of a goal, nor is trying to establish a more Islamic state within our hearts, whether that's a political entity or not eventually. So my transformation of thought about Ijtihad and about my creative abilities within that, and the necessity for creativity in practicing Ijtihad in the 21st century in order to basically try to better Islamize myself and the reality that I'm living in, is a really important process. So I'm really grateful for that. And if you don't get anything else from my talk here, just thank you so much for everybody, the role you played in that. I really also wanted to point out that I have kind of reduced Ijtihad to a process of problem solving, which allowed me to accept it as something that, yeah, I can do on my own for some aspects of my life and problems in my life, but also for much bigger issues, I obviously need to approach someone who has training and understanding and who can help me to solve the problems from an Islamic paradigm. And so I compiled a list from everything we talked about of the qualities needed in an Ijtihad process, which starts with our identity as servants of Allah and people who have to return to the source in everything we do, basically, or endeavor to do so, exert effort to do that. Also, following from that is our identity as vicegerents for the earth, and that everything we have in this life is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we have to make sure that we're taking care of that and approaching everything from an ethical perspective. Obviously setting goals for our Ijtihad and what we actually want to realize is the next big step, which Sister Bushra talked about as well. Then I put the qualifications, because if I have the qualifications to deal with an issue in my own life, obviously I can go to the text and try to be as faithful to it as possible. But if there's a bigger issue or something I lack understanding for, then I have to go to someone with qualifications, and inshallah they will give me a legal opinion, which, as we discussed, has to go beyond halal and haram to, again, achieving the ultimate goal, which is to Islamize our reality and make sure that our lives are more faithful to Islam. And the last thing I want to bring up, the other qualifications I had were trust, and it has to be of ourselves and also of scholars and our intellect. But we have to be consistent. We have to be making sure that we're faithful to one final idea that I basically have stolen in a process of taqleed from all of you, and that is that basically we can't hope to find an ethical system, and we can't hope to find an ethical system outside of Islam. And if you look at contextual ethics, like bioethics or political ethics, those ethics have to be imposed on the system that we're wanting to see them in. Whereas when we look at Islamic ethics and we look at God as the source, that ethical framework has to exist first, and we really have to build as much as possible from that, and also try to integrate our reality into that. So the last thing, and I know I've gone well over time, but I just want to make sure that I understand Kyle's mission in a very simplified sense, and that is to try to build that Islamic framework of ethics and try to have that in place so that when we deal with challenges and problems that we have to solve through creative ijtihad, that we end up having a strong foundation for it, and we're able to really create a reality that is both Islamic and contemporary, and allows us to continue realizing the mission that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. So, thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. I totally agree with you because it's my feeling that I feel that people as what your father say, you should work, you should study, but they didn't educate us for why I will study. We don't push us to ask this question. That's what I like here in this summer school, that we talk about this dimension, the finality, the essence, the objectives. It gives you the motivation. It help you to feeling strong. If we sometime you will have adversity and have some incoherence or some. I think we are, as you say, culturally colonized. Seriously, I'm talking about Morocco, because we idolize the other French people or something. I see in the way that we acting with them, and comparing to our brother and sisters, we make exception. We are open mind when they are here, and we are close with other. For me, I think the way, Allahu A'lam, it's to give you space, to find some space, to have some quiet, because we are. I like what last book for Mr. Tariq Ramadan in French. He talk about some idea about spirituality. He say you should. When you are with your brother and sister, you should have some space to you to talk to them that I'm here with you, but I'm communicate with you in quite level. Sometimes we need to take a time to rethink our life, to stop the noise. That's my answer.
Thank you for your question, and I think those are really the issues that we have to face, and when we do eventually sell the Kyle chicken, it's going to be very, very valuable. So we have to make sure that we feed it properly, and that we market it properly and everything. So I'm really grateful for your contribution, and thank you.